The family, whose members say they have been targeted for harassment by a hate group. The Daily Stormer, an online community for neo-Nazis, has been in the news for allegedly making repugnant statements about the victim of that car attack in Charlottesville, Virginia. But as you'll see tonight, that is far from the first time this group has been accused of terrorizing innocent people. Here's my Nightline co-anchor, Juju Chang.
Kill yourself, you Jewish.
These are the voices of hate invading small-town America.
Oh, sorry, I think I have the wrong number. I was looking for the crematorium.
The kind of hate and bigotry now bubbling up around us.
Jews will not replace us! Jews will not replace us!
Reaching an apex in Charlottesville, Virginia.
One people, one nation, and immigration!
When counter-protester Heather Heyer was run over by an alleged neo-Nazi sympathizer. These shocking gatherings exposing a deeply racist community that's been burgeoning online for years, cheered on by websites like the Daily Stormer, run by this man, Andrew Anglin. Able to spread racist rhetoric to the masses from his keyboard.
Jews are behind absolutely every problem that we face as a society.
The site allegedly posting about Heyer after her death, calling her a drain on society, fat and childless, although Anglin denying that he wrote those vicious words, claiming the website was hacked. In the wake of Charlottesville, GoDaddy kicked the website off its domain, saying, while we support a free and open internet, the Daily Stormer crossed the line and encouraged and promoted violence.
Don't fight.
But others like Tanya Gersh say online attacks from the Daily Stormer are not new.
All right, you guys have fun.
I was told that they're going to terrorize me into the brink of suicide.
Gersh says she and her family were the target of hundreds of anti-Semitic messages, phone calls, and emails, part of a terror campaign incited by Anglin and the Daily Stormer. His devotees launching a barrage of online threats, a so-called troll storm. One user even targeting her young son, tweeting, "There's a free Xbox One inside this oven."
That's when I broke.
He's 12.
He's 12. He's studying for his bar mitzvah right now.
Her story begins here, in the postcard-perfect town of Whitefish, Montana, where Tanya lived a quiet life as a real estate agent with her husband and 2 boys.
I've never encountered anti-Semitism in my life. Did you know I have not been told a Jewish joke? Like, it's not there.
But her outlook started to change when 2,000 miles away in Washington, D.C., alt-right leader Richard Spencer
Hail Trump! Hail our people! Hail victory!
delivered that now infamous toast to then-President-elect Donald Trump.
White people are ruling right now.
That went viral. When you saw it, what did you think?
I was heartbroken, and the town was heartbroken because he has family ties to our area.
More than ties, this is Spencer's hometown. His mother, Sherry, still owns this commercial building downtown, a building that came under fire as the white nationalist views made headlines. There were threats of protests and boycotts.
She asked me to help her sell the building.
She asked you?
She called me and she asked me to help her, and she felt really bad about everything, all the chaos she's causing in Whitefish, and will you help me? And I said yes, I would.
But soon after, Sherry Spencer claimed in an online article that Tanya was pressuring her to sell. Tanya believes the abrupt change of heart may have been scripted by Sherry Spencer's son. It quickly catches the attention of Andrew Anglin, who appeared on our affiliate station in Montana.
Do you think this is ethical to extort somebody for money and tell them to sell their property because you disagree with the beliefs of their son?
Anglin's website issues a so-called call to arms, publishing Tanya's email, cell, and information about her family and children.
If you've ever experienced fear to the point where you're frozen, that's a really good way to describe it.
Well, hi there, Tanya. I wanted to let you know that I find what you did to Sherry Spencer to be vile and disgusting, you rank.
Trollers calling her an oven-dodging Christ killer, a slimy Jewess, even posting photographs of Gersh and other Jewish community members with yellow stars, Judah, German for Jew, hearkening back to Nazi Germany.
Terror. Just terror.
Anglin going so far as to suggest his followers seek the Gersh family out. Writing on the Daily Stormer, if you're in the area, maybe you should stop by and tell her in person what you think of her actions. Although he did say no threats of violence or acts of violence.
My husband was sitting in a dark house and there were suitcases on the floor. He said, Tanya, we need to pack. How do I explain this to children? We're running in the middle of the night because we're Jewish.
Now, Tanya and the Southern Poverty Law Center are fighting back, filing a federal lawsuit against Anglin, seeking damages after he, quote, turned his horde of anti-Semitic fanatics loose, trying to shut down his site and bring his hate speech to a halt.
He could post the most horrid images that he can imagine, but when he directs them at a particular person and his goal is to intimidate and his goal is to terrorize, he launches a troll storm that has exactly that effect. That's not protected speech, that's terrorism.
The SPLC hasn't been able to find Anglin or serve him with a lawsuit, but we spoke with his attorney.
It is distasteful, but the First Amendment tolerates distasteful content. He has a right to express himself politically, to express himself socially, and to call people to action.
Never thought I'd ever see myself with a yellow star.
Francine Roston is the local rabbi in Whitefish. She says she and her family were also targeted in the same troll storm.
Anytime you invoke Holocaust language and Holocaust symbolism, you're invoking a narrative that is calling for the destruction of the Jewish people. You know, that person wearing a star is eventually supposed to end up in the crematoria.
This is not the first time Anglin has been accused of rallying his followers against an individual. Erin Schrody says she was one of his victims.
There were thousands of messages that I got across all of these platforms, my personal information.
The 26-year-old was running for Congress in Northern California when she says Anglin zeroed in on her.
I saw an email, me with a yellow star next to some monster-like creature saying, "Get out of my country, get to Israel or get in the oven."
Since GoDaddy kicked off the site, the Daily Stormer has been trying to find another host. Google said no, and even a Russian server refused to accept them. But just hours ago, the site re-emerging, this time titled The Punished Stormer, giving Anglin a platform once again. Tanya says finding peace has been difficult.
I've had lots of panic attacks.
She says her business was ruined, her sense of safety stolen.
Walking to the store or going anywhere, I'm looking over my shoulders. It's a whole new feeling I've never, ever experienced before.
The mayor of Whitefish insisting these attacks don't represent the community.
We will stand up as a community and stand beside our neighbors and not tolerate their hatred.
There are cards and messages of support from people from around the country.
For Tanya and Francine, these messages of love far outweigh those of hate.
It just reminds me that it's more than just my life this whole story has touched. It's just touched so many other lives.
For Nightline, I'm Juju Chang.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.